I V M.
I'm sure you must have read near-death experiences
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. What are your
Yes,
thoughts
yes.
on the...
I think it's very, very good, but I think your level of consciousness decides how you're going to die.
Hmm.
That is my limited understanding. In fact, if I ask you, you die every night when you go to sleep, where's the world? Then you wake up again.
Yeah. In fact, the whole thing was, how do you die connected? You know, when...
Yeah, these great saints, they had experienced death. Like Ramana Maharishi experienced death 3 to 4 times at a very early age. And all these great saints. And
By
even
default or on purpose?
by default.
Like an accident or something happened
Yeah,
to them.
like
Okay.
he experienced death while at a very young age, at the age of 6 or 12, I think.
Hmm.
He had glimpses.
Hmm.
He left his body, came back, left his body, came back. And he realized that you never die. But now when we talk about it, again there'll be question, oh, kuch bhi baat kar raha hai, ye kar raha hai. But it's an experiential shift.
What are your thoughts on Siddhis? Because when people start talking about, spirituality, like, I want superpowers, right? Like, how do you start thinking about Siddhis without the greed?
I personally know a lot of people who have some so-called amazing siddhis, but I run away from siddhis. Like if while taking classes, people would
First,
ask me,
define
I
Siddhi
would
for
just
people who don't understand.
siddhis. Patanjali Maharishi in chapter number 3 has beautifully explained siddhis in detail. In fact, even we get siddhis at time. At times, you're thinking about something and it happens. But in that state, it is going to happen because it is a constant power. So siddhis are occults. And Patanjali Maharishi has given hundreds or 200 of siddhis. But it comes with ego.
Oh, he's made a list of all the kinds of
In
Siddhi.
chapter number 3.
Give me some, like, what kind of things that...
People won't believe it, but you can read people's mind. These are small. You can go through the wall. You can also, by focusing on the moon, I can get all the information of the moon. Then I can stop time. Then the Ashtasiddhis that Hanumanji had, the great. Becoming small, big, materializing. In Rishikesh, there was a man who could materialize anything. So there are people with siddhis, but I think the highest siddhi is that you're a part of nature. The sun is shining, Ganga is flowing. I'm talking to you. You are alive, breathing. And next siddhi is to be in the highest state of consciousness. Rest, everything is an ego trap.
Yeah.
So,
This
very
ego
anti-siddhi.
one, I think if the listeners don't take anything away except from this ego thought,
Yeah.
what are the steps to start understanding your ego and moving away from it?
That is the first step for spiritual evolution. First, I personally believe you have to come into an acceptance that things are never going to go your way. You may give whatever you want, the results are never in your hand. Accept it. Secondly, you think that you're running the show, but there's someone greater up who's running the show. He, it, she, whatever, it's an energy. And once you align yourself, I think everything will fall into place. As I always say, no, it should not be ego, it should be I go. When the I dissolves, everything is gone.
I go.
Yeah, I go. That's it. So whenever, even now while talking to you, I'm being very aware because it is my ego talking. But at the end,
It is our current state of understanding.
that's it. And more than that, it is your state of mind that makes the situation very serious, very attached, or just a joke. I'm realizing that.
There's a lovely saying that said, man takes seriously what God made for as a joke.
Yeah.
I love that. I was like,
And there is so much fear of God. Oh my God, there is so much
God-fearing.
fear.
Let's break this word down. What are God-fearing people and why do we need God-fearing people?
I have been going through this and understanding that there is a certain, wherever there is spirituality, there is fear of God, there is religion, there are rituals, and there is so much of unattend, let me put it another way, there's so much of space that is putting you in darkness. But trust me, God is super cool. God loves everyone and God is within you. So have no fear. I think it has been created and generated with time by the society or by whatever.
Yeah.
God will never. You will punish yourself. Your
100%.
own mind will punish
You're
yourself.
shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. So God has nothing to do.
In fact, karmas and all of that are part of
Yeah.
you punishing yourself only, or you not
So
necessarily.
why are you blaming God? People having fear. Oh no, you know what, Bhavesh? I didn't offer this today. Oh no, I made a mistake while chanting. No, don't worry. That energy is equal for everyone.
Maybe a controversial topic, but the outwardly show of respect to God versus the inwardly show of respect to God.
There are two things to it. There are two kinds of people. For beginners who need some support, they worship God outwardly. For example, I'm worshipping Shiv, worshipping Krishna. I know someone is there. That is bhakti. I know someone is looking after me. I know because that is my temperament. But at the other hand, God is within me. Both the approaches are same, but the problem is you should realize that the outside God and the inside God both are one.
The
If
God
you
that you
have
feel
that-
inside
Yeah.
and the one that you're
Yeah,
worshipping
because
outside.
that outside God with proper knowledge will take you inward. But when you say that my God is cooler than your God, then that is
My
what is
daddy's strongest.
Yeah,
huh?
my
Like,
daddy's strongest. Yeah.
you know, you go to a lot of temples, you go to a lot of caves where, you know, that have a lot of energy, etc. What is the role of these spaces and places in our journey or in the world?
That's actually a very good question because people tell me that, oh, you know what, you talk God is inside, you talk about Vedanta, and all of a sudden I see you climbing mountains and going there. The fact is, if you meditate in a cremation ground, now if you meditate in Badrinath, there's hell of a difference. These places are charged, it will help you in your spiritual evolution. So we need that to recharge yourself. And when you go to such places, automatically you will be charged. For example, if I'm spending time with smokers, I'll become a passive smoker. Similarly, if you're going to a very charged place, it changes and shifts your consciousness. But the attitude should be there to change. Otherwise, temple or graveyard both are same. So your intention plays a very important role.
Are there beginner places to go to that you feel like, oh, you know, like if you just want to understand this?
I would recommend go to Rishikesh, go to Varanasi. Just be on your own. And I think these spiritual trips should be solo trips. That is the time you'll realize that there's something that is holding you. You can't go with family, you can't go. You have to explore, you have to let go. And when you, something also we are realizing that you can't go to such places until you are invited. So it's,
Chicken egg.
yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
you have to feel the...
You have to feel the calling. Otherwise, not possible.
Like for me, I have not done any pilgrimages or anything ever. Right? The only time I've gone to Rishikesh and all was the whitewater raft.
Yeah.
Which is like, so maybe some of my sins went away in the whitewater
But see,
raft.
the place called, The place called, all of it. And I've seen many people, they don't go to temples, but they are spaces walking in nature or just sitting somewhere or just being on their own. So that is also good. As far as you have a space to connect within and understand how nature works, you're good to go.
So you don't necessarily need to be going to these places. They help.
I think it depends upon how your karma is, and I think it depends upon if the place is calling you. You will go. Even if you don't have money, you'll
land up there.
You'll land up there. This has happened with us. At times we had no money. We have traveled so many places, and there's this connection which it works out. And later in life, you realize that it has worked out.
Do you have certain places where you go for thinking or you go for certain purposes that, like personally has like, oh, I've had an epiphany here of, something's
I
happened.
often sit next to Ganga. Ganga Mai, just sit in the night. And that place is just... Next time you're coming to Rishikesh, I'll take you to my place. We'll sit together.
You have to. The last time around didn't happen. Probably calling was not strong enough. But
We'll sit together.
yeah, we should spend one.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And now she's turquoise green. And I think the place also plays a very important role. And even the people around you, they play a very important role.
Yeah.
If you're not mentally strong. If you're mentally strong, nothing matters.
No, because the people around you again influence your ego, no? Why is this person doing
Definitely.
this? Why did this person cough in the middle of me doing this? That's the funniest.
Definitely. We create so many things,
This one's feet are smelling suddenly.
Yeah. So many things we create.
And it is all about that you versus me that comes in again.
Everywhere. Another problem is we can't accept anyone else. Very rarely.
Now, when people say, I can't meditate,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Yeah. First of all, what is meditation? That is a topic that we need to address because nowadays every Tom, Dick and Harry wants to meditate. So personally, meditation, when you start, I'll give a very simple answer. When you start meditating, it is not going to happen. People think I'll close my eyes and I will just cross the crown or I'll see some dimensions and look. That is not going to happen. When you start meditating, it will actually teach you how to operate in this world. It will make you stronger. It will make you receptive. It will help you to deal problems. It will make you aware. Later, when you start going internally, that is where the magic will start. Meditating is being aware of your own existence. And the most simple answer. And what is the ultimate goal of meditation? Is self-realization. But in the beginning, we can't just sit cross-legged and meditate. No, you have to work on your breath. Then only meditation will start.
Now, when you're meditating, is it a blank mind or is it a question answer that goes on? Is it a vision that happens? What do you feel?
Let me put it in very practical things that we have seen in meditation. When people start meditating, the beginners, I'm talking from a very beginner thing. In fact, I'll give 3 things that will help you also. For a beginner who has never meditated, do some candle gazing. We call it tratak. Not candle, diya gazing. We do it, then we do some breath work.
Why did you change it from candle to diya?
Because we never use candle. Tratak actually in the text is diya.
Okay.
And there's
So
a
not in tea
esoteric-
light kind of.
Yeah.
Not in a tea light.
Not tea light, because I'll tell you how it works. They used to use mud, the clay pots, oil and cotton wick.
Okay.
And 3 individual have properties to purify the surrounding.
Okay.
So generally wax was avoided. So I came back to that again. And we keep it. That will help you to come in the now. Breath work will calm the mind. And then you just close your eyes for 5 minutes. This is for beginners. Now when you start meditating, there are different methods and different experiences. People start seeing spots. People start seeing lights. People start being pulled up. People also go into other dimensions and whatnot. These are all passing phases. The highest meditation is when you experience bliss. Allah, we call it. You get goosebumps and all. There are higher states also.
You start crying.
Yeah, you start crying, you start venting for no reason. You feel an ecstasy, you get some, ecstasy. Those all higher states. And then in the highest state of meditation, you're one with the cosmos. That means if I'm sneezing here and you are in Japan or you are in Rishikesh, you'll come to know. You're one with the cosmos. So these are all steps which builds up.
Very interesting how the journeys are
Amazing,
for all of
amazing.
these.
And what I have realized with time, the highest meditation is when you're doing every job with awareness. Because once that job is done, you become one with that job and you become an actor with time. But those are higher states.
What's interesting is that many of us are born with a religion background, correct? How do we either use the religion background or become curious about other formats so we grow or we start looking at the world slightly differently?
You know what I would recommend for our generation, if you're talking about modern people looking into spiritual evolution, question everything, look for reasons, don't have blind faith. Question everything. If I'm telling you do Tratak, ask me why. Give me the benefits. Then only you will enjoy the journey. Otherwise, we'll become puppets. So I believe in that thing.
Correct.
I question everything to my guru. I question everything. I do my own thing. I experience own thing. That is the reason I can talk today.
Question experience.
Question experience. At the same time, be ready for failures also. Because that is the time where the ego is nicely grinded. That is what we need.
Yeah.
So question, fight, walk on the path, and you will realize that in this process, you will realize that nature is beautiful. Multiple things are happening. Help is coming from everywhere. And you're never alone. We want to sit in comfort zone, want to know how my chakra will open, then how God is there. You are never going to evolve. Only after revolution, there's evolution. This is what...
Let everything shake and break down.
Yeah, you have to break. You have to break. If you read the stories of the greatest saints, they have gone through some major downfalls. Then that highest state has come. So that duality is a must in life.
I V M.